This reflected quite a change from the way things had been going.
The United States makes the UN work when it wants it to work. And that is exactly the way it should be, because the only question for the United States is what's in our national interest. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry.
The last American president, he picked that guy to represent us at the United Nations. He was the top diplomat. Before he was nominated for the Nobel, Mr. Obama declared that the most powerful nation on earth would close its secret prisons and the prison it offshored in Cuba to avoid our own constitution. And he declared that the United States government would no longer support a policy of torture.
Guantanamo will be closed no later than 1 year from now. We can abide by a rule that says we don't torture, but that we can still effectively obtain the intelligence that we need. The message that we are sending around the world is that the United States intends to prosecute the ongoing struggle against violence and terrorism, and we are going to do so vigilantly, we are going to do so effectively, and we are going to do so in a manner that is consistent with our values and our ideals.
That was Mr. Obama's track record before February 1st, before the deadline for nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize this year. When he accepted it today, he said that he felt that he did not deserve it.
To be honest, I do not feel that I deserve to be in the company of so many of the transformative figures who've been honored by this prize. Men and women who've inspired me and inspired the entire world through their courageous pursuit of peace. But I also know that this prize reflects the kind of world that those men and women and all Americans want to build. A world that gives life to the promise of our founding documents. And I know that throughout history, the Nobel Peace Prize has not just been used to honor specific achievement, it's also been used as a means to give momentum to a set of causes. And that is why I will accept this award as a call to action, a call for all nations to confront the common challenges of the 21st century. This award is not simply about the efforts of my administration, it's about the courageous efforts of people around the world. And that's why this award must be shared with everyone who strives for justice and dignity. For the young woman who marches silently in the streets on behalf of her right to be heard, even in the face of beatings and bullets. For the leader imprisoned in her own home because she refuses to abandon her commitment to democracy. For the soldier who sacrificed through tour after tour of duty on behalf of someone half a world away. And for all those men and women across the world who sacrifice their safety and their freedom and sometimes their lives for the cause of peace. That has always been the cause of America. That's why the world has always looked to America. And that's why I believe America will continue to lead.
When he says the young woman who marches silently in the streets, he's talking about Neda Agha Sultan, who's of course martyred in the Iranian opposition movement. When he talks about the leader imprisoned in her own home, he's presumably talking about Aung San Suu Kyi, the leader of the opposition to the military junta in Burma. When he says the soldier who sacrifices on behalf of someone half a world away, he's presumably talking about the American soldier. President Obama's critics railed today that winning the Nobel Peace Prize is somehow an insult, that international encouragement and hope for success for an American president is something to be ashamed of. I never thought that I would quote Charles Krauthammer, but Obama derangement syndrome appears to be upon us. The American president just won the Nobel Peace Prize. By any reasonable measure, all Americans should be proud.